start keeping the test.
Ryan, good shit, bro. No, you're good. Yeah, yeah. Any just a personal question? Any reason you dropped him from three to two? Did you not have confidence? Did he not sound confident at three, or did he sound overextended? Hmm. Hmm. So you felt hesitation of some sort. Probably like I'm gonna guess that this is a funding issue. I mean, it was good. That was good of you to do. It's better you start at 200 and then fresh. Was that a that wasn't one of the ones that Arturo, right? Goat. Seems like Goat is pretty, I don't want to say reliable, obviously with your skill set, but seems like they're pretty good. A lot of people are. I mean, Brad's closed six of them yesterday just off Goat. Brad is a sales killer. He just needed time to calibrate.
We'll give it a few more minutes, guys. We're waiting for Ryan to hop on.
Jesus. John Sailing, 25,000 NLG flex. Probably helped them.
Can you guys hear me on here?
Yes, sir.
I bet I was on a close. Okay, bet.
John, you animal, you.
You guys can hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear
Any vacation at all? Okay, wouldn't be I wait for a year. Now
All right, we got everyone in here. We're still waiting on a few people or what? Yeah, I can't see. Can I turn my camera on? I don't see an option for it. Marco, are you
Yo, what's up, bro?
is there I don't see the option to turn my camera on. Is there
Let's see.
is something weird?
Yo, what's up, Marco?
Yo. Let's see.
Marco only sells big deals.
Where do you get those from, my G?
What was that?
He said Marco only sells fat deals.
And I cannot.
Okay, so let me make you the host. I can make you the host.
At my work.
Okay.
Not too big of a deal.
But I can't make you the host for some reason.
I'm trying my phone.
I can make everybody else a host though,
Dude, what?
other than you.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, sweet. You guys, you can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I just made you the host now.
Okay, bet. Right. Appreciate the patience. All right, so yeah, I'm kind of go over tonality. Yeah, I had a few points I wanted to kind of touch on here. I feel like as far as tonality goes, tonality is only like a part of it. Like when I think tonality, I think of like how do I sound, but or like the tone of my voice, but I feel like a lot of tonality too is just like the way you respond to people. And like tonality is a big part of it, but it's also just the way you respond to questions, respond to like objections and stuff like that. Um, I think before anything, the most important part for me is just like having confidence. Um, like they filled this form out. Our job as a licensed professional is to like diagnose their current situation, um, and figure out a solution for it. So if you don't have that mindset, if you're like scared to go into calls, if you don't have that mindset going in, like you're already failing. Your tonality's like not gonna help if you're like scared to hop on the call, you're just not confident in like your job and what you're doing. Um, so like mindset's the biggest thing first. Like I'm confident they filled this out. My job's to call them and get them on a close. Um, I feel like the biggest thing for me, like I just have the entire call, like I just have this energy of uh like obviously you're gonna buy this. Why else would we be on the phone right now? Why would we have spent the last 10, 15, 20 minutes talking about this if you're not gonna buy it? So um at that point, like I think a big thing too for especially new agents, there's a difference between objections and questions. I hear it like so often where a client will just ask a simple question. They'll say like, "How much is this again?" And then a new agent will overcomplicate the answer, just like talk way too much. And I feel like one thing I'm really good at, they ask me a question, I just answer it. $100 a month. Or you told me $100 a month earlier. I'm assuming that's what you wanted to start out with, right? Or I hear a lot of new agents just like, yeah, we'll start out with $100 a month. Is that okay? Is that okay? Like we can start with like 50 or like they just like go into this spiral. They sit on stuff for way too long. Um, it's all about just giving a short answer, $100. Yeah, I just assumed that's what you told me earlier. Is that what you still want to start with, or did you want to do more? Um, Always right here, they'll overcomplicate it and then they'll leave it open-ended. So then if you don't give them an option, like, is that what you want to start with, or did you want to do more? If you just leave that open-ended, then they're gonna just start talking and being like, yeah, maybe 100. Like, I just got to think about it, this, and that. But if you just ask them straight up, 100 or did you want to do 200? Then they have to pick one. You got to say it confident. Um, so what else do I have down here? I feel like another thing too, a lot of new agents, like they'll overcomplicate a lot of stuff. And one thing that I've kind of noticed, you also have to be comfortable with like silence. Um, I hear it a lot too, like when people are filling out applications or you know, trying to like reroute or like there'll be like a pause and a lot of people make it kind of awkward and they'll like try to be like or if the call's going on for like 40 minutes, the whole time they're like, yeah, almost done, almost done. Y- There, y- Silence is completely fine. Um, y like it's good to build rapport during that, but you don't want to be talking too much. Like it's okay to have silence sometimes. Um, like if they're staying on the phone, they're not complaining. Like sometimes if you're running them through like multiple apps, you don't have to like try to convince them to like stay on the phone or like apologize that it's taken so long. If they're sitting on the phone and they're not complaining, they're giving me the time of day. I'm running them through 6 apps if I have to. I'm not apologizing. Um, you just got to be like confident about the whole process. Let's see here. I was gonna ask Spit, what do you think? Because like I feel like a lot of this stuff is just like ingrained. Like I don't like consciously do it. What do you think is like good about my like the way I do things? Because you see me every day. I feel like you could dissect part of it.
Yeah, dude, I'd say what you do really well is if you heard Ryan with his headphones on and you couldn't hear the client, you you wouldn't even know he's getting an objection. It sounds like a laydown every single time, and that's because he keeps his tonality so level throughout the call and he doesn't make it a big deal for the client at all. Like it's not a big deal. He acts like he's heard it a million times, probably because he has. But it's like he gets an objection and it's just flown over and 99% of it's his tonality. Like that's all it is. And you wouldn't even be able to tell he's getting an objection just because he's keeping such a level tonality with it. Um, I think that's the biggest thing because some people like tonality shift when they get an objection and it throws the client off, and it makes every, like, even Ryan was telling me, like, he doesn't even like we were talking about how you get a sale and it feels like a laydown, but you don't even realize all the objections you're getting because he keeps it so level the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the first thing is, like I was talking about earlier, is this a question or is this an objection? Like sometimes they can ask a question that might seem a little scary, but the way you go about it is so important. And a lot of, if they give me an objection too, I just treat it like a question. This guy just closed. He was like, "Yeah, just send me the paperwork." Um, I still gotta talk to like my ex-wife and figure out the names of the beneficiaries. I feel like a lot of people would try to like roll the objection or like try to like con convince them, I guess, like to get back into the sale. I don't do that though. Like he said, I gotta like send me the paperwork, for example. I'm just like, yeah, so we're just gonna get this submitted for you, get your foot in the door, and then they're gonna send you the paperwork as soon as we push this through. I'll send you all my contact info. He was saying too, I gotta talk to the like my ex-wife and figure out the how to spell the names of my kids or whatever. And I was like, yeah, no worries. We'll just put down their names for now, or at least what you think they are. And then as soon as we submit it, no worries. You can always update that. Just shoot me a text or a call and we'll get it updated. We'll just put it down like this for now. So every time I get an objection, I'm not like asking them a question or like trying to like pivot the conversation. I just treat the objection like a question or like a concern. Like, okay, yeah, you don't have to actually worry about that because we can change that. I'll take care of that for you. We're just gonna push this through today, and then you can change that later if you want to. Trying to think about that last call I had because he was giving me a lot of objections. Um, oh yeah, another important thing too, when you do that, so you get an objection, you say, I literally just say like, yeah, no, don't worry about that. We can change that later. You have to also follow that up with something. That also goes with like a lot of new guys. I know I had this a lot. People would ask me questions that I might not know the exact answer to. So instead of like sitting in that objection or sitting in that question that you don't exactly know the answer to for like trying to come up with something, just give them a short answer and then move on. Ask them another question. I do this a lot. Like if they ask me something I don't know the answer to, or they give me an objection, I'll just be like, yeah, don't worry about that. And then I'll act like something else like important came up or caught my attention. So Braden, he says, gotta talk to the wife about it. I'm like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's gonna love it. We'll just get this pushed through today. Hey, Braden, real quick again, what was, can you confirm the address for me one more time? I didn't get that. I just want to make sure it's the right one. And then their mind shifts from the objection to now they're giving me their address. So that objection's gone. That's in the past. Now they give me their address. Could be anything. Like just wanted to confirm the email. Just wanted to blah 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 whatever. This just popped up. Act like something popped up on your screen or like you got to do something. And then once they give me like they confirm it, then I'll be like, they'll some report. How's your day going so far? Anything crazy going on, or just talking to the insurance guy? So it goes from objection, quick answer from me, and I'll ask him a question, and then I'll change the topic to like building rapport. And I feel like if you get really good at that, objections are way easier to roll. Um, and usually they're just smoke screens. Like they're not even gonna pop back up later if I just handle it the right way. Um, trying to think what else. Like, and I feel like a big part of that too is just staying neutral the whole time. Like Braden was saying, not like freaking out when they give you an objection, not changing your tonality, not talking faster, just keep staying calm, confident. I feel like I'm pretty monotone every time I'm, on a call. Um, and it is really finding the right balance of like being calm, but also staying confident and pushing for the sale, making sure you're not losing the client. Um, but yeah, it's like calm confidence. That's what I would say. Like calm confidence is like my biggest thing.
Yeah, I'd say the way like I'd describe it is you have like the authority in your voice because you keep the tonality and you're very assumptive at the same time, but it's also like not like rapport seeking at all.
Yeah,
It's
no rapport seeking over here.
Yeah, it's like you can still build rapport, but it's like he's keeping it like authoritative the entire call, and he doesn't get pushed around because of that. And he's always able to, stay on that straight line and tailor it back into the sale every single time.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say,
So Ryan, let me ask you a question. Since
yeah.
if let's just say you're talking to somebody, they start babbling, how do you respectfully bring them back into that straight line? What would you say to them? I had a guy yesterday. He's talking about how he's got a degree in this, and these are the herbs he takes, and he's a holistic. And like,
Mhm.
I didn't want to like cut him off, but like, I wanted to bring it
Yeah,
back to insurance. You know what I mean?
for that, I'll act like something important came up that I need to ask them. So if
Okay.
they're just yapping, um, I'll be like, hey, hey, Matt, they're yapping. I'm like, hey, Matt, real quick, I just got to make sure I got this right. Could you confirm the address for me one more time?
Yep, that's what I did. He was, and then
Or
and he's like, oh, I'm so, I'm sorry. I'll stop my babbling. I'll let you get back to it. So I
yeah,
didn't
or
want him to
I'll
think that like I was being disrespectful. I'm like, dude, I can't listen to you talk for 40 minutes about holistic approaches to shit. Because I asked him if he was healthy, and he just wouldn't shut up.
I like blaming it on stuff that's out of my control.
Yep.
So I'll also be like you're just talking. I'm like, hey Matt, can you hear me still? Like, yeah. I'm like, my bad. The call broke up. You cut out for a second here. Real quick, could you confirm that email for me one more time? And then
Okay.
that
That's good.
shuts them up. Then you gain control of the conversation
That's that's
again.
that's that's, that's kind of what I did yesterday. I was like, real quick, can you just confirm your height again? And he didn't.
Yeah.
He shut up.
Yeah,
All right.
I love using the call broke up. Can you still hear me? Because then it's like it's out of your control. You're not being rude or anything by cutting them off.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's also important. You got to do that like quick. Like if you notice they're a talker, you don't want to wait like 10 minutes because that's
No,
just
you lose
gonna
authority.
yeah, you gotta like give them talk for like a couple seconds and then you gotta realize that quick and do it like right away so you don't lose control and that you don't get off the straight line.
Well, I
Yeah,
like it.
any other questions though?
Yo, I have a question. Um,
Yeah.
how do you stay composed throughout the whole sale? Like, and not get combative with the customer? Like, it's something that I'm working on and it's been a work in progress. But I find that a lot of times, especially like if it's like at the end or something, like I just get in a, it doesn't end well, right? And I understand that that's going to happen from time to time, but I don't see that happening with you. Like I feel like you're able to like just be like real cool and nonchalant and not combative. Does that
What do
make
you mean
sense?
like if they're like giving you like objections or because like that last guy, I know you were behind me. He was giving me a lot of non-committal towards the end. Are you saying like what do you mean like combative, I guess?
Like yeah, it's usually towards the end. It's not going to be like more like a smoke screen, but like when I'm spending like 20 or 30 minutes on the call and then they hit me with something at the close, right? I think I need to stay more composed at the finish line there, and sometimes I don't keep that composure. I'm
I
just like
think it's
wondering if there's anything that you do where it's like you're able to just keep rolling with it, just like real smooth.
It's really just not putting too much thought into it. Like when you get an objection in the beginning of the call, like you know it's a smoke screen, right? You're just rolling right past it,
Mhm.
right? Same. I don't treat objections differently just because it's towards the end of the call or like where like they're all the same. You just treat them all like smoke screens. Um, I feel like what I see a lot is like it's pretty easy to roll them in the beginning because like you don't know them. Like you're just gonna try as hard as you can or they're gonna hang up. And then towards the end of the call, you got to have the same mindset of like this is just a smoke screen. Um, I'll see a lot of the time objections later in the calls when people start like spiraling, saying random stuff, just like, and they get like rapport seeking or, and I just treat it the same. Like I got that dude objected me like 10 times and I literally just stayed the same. I knew it was BS. Like he already gave me his account number and stuff. Um, I just didn't. You can't lose composure. You just treat it like it's nothing. And if you can start with that, like you get an objection at the end of the call, and you can control your mindset. You can't freak out. You can't start acting different just because they gave you this like 20 minutes into the call. So if you can start with that, keep your mindset strong. Don't start tweaking after that, no matter where it is in the call. Um, Start with that, and then redirecting is the biggest thing. Like, if they give me an objection, it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. It's not an issue. It's not a real objection. You can't treat it like a big deal. Um, what would you say is like where?
Well, let me divert for a second. I'll ask you a different question. Is
Yeah.
this, you're obviously good at this. Your tonality is good. Your objection handling is like solid. That's apparent. Do you think this is something that's like you came in naturally, or is it something that you had to build and grow and develop?
Mm, No, no, definitely had to grow it. I think at my last job, I was like W-2 sales. They helped me a lot with that of just like because we were buying houses for cash. So that was the thing of like it was just a little bit different. I feel like there were way more smoke screens with it. You just had to like get through way more BS. So I think I got really good at it then, just like handling all the calls were also way. It was like we'd be talking to these people over the course of like a couple weeks. So I really got to see doing that, like what was real and what was fake, because I would talk to them for the first time, and then I would get the deal 2 weeks later and I could really see the different types of people, the different types of objections, and like what's actually real and what's not.
Okay, cool.
Um, but yeah, do you feel like it's after you handle the objection, or like where are you starting to get a little?
I mean, dude, to be quite honest with you, it's like a personality trait I'm trying to get better at, just composure in general. Um, I have a lot of like knee-jerk reactions of just like it's just who I am, right? Um, but that's not who wins all the time on the sales field or whatever you want to call it, right? So it's just something that I'm trying to work on. So I was just curious.
Yeah, like the main thing is just hardly even acknowledging it. It's not a big deal. Hardly acknowledging it, and then changing the subject. Get them on something different. That's literally like it's not hard. Um, Yeah, because if you just change the subject or like I said, like something that's out of your control, like something popping up or like whatever, phone cutting out, and then you just ask them a question, how are you doing, whatever, like they forget about that. That objection's gone. It's not real.
I also think, Ron, you're just a
Oh,
really chill person, so it's probably hard to get you pissed.
Yeah, it's also
Yeah,
taking the emotion out of the sale. Like Ryan isn't like emotionally attached to the sale at all. Like he's not like he's like emotionless, but like yeah,
No,
he's
I
also
can
just
just
like a
sense that from his
just
personality.
a
Yeah.
chill guy. Like if something happens, like Ryan doesn't he doesn't make it a big deal.
I mean, dude, don't get me wrong, I've definitely had times where I'm stressing Like when I was first starting out, like it's a big deal. They give me an objection. I'm kind of stressing. But like realistically, if someone throws you an objection on a $50 a month deal, you're not going to care that much. You're just going to try to push through it, and you'll probably close the deal because you don't care that much because it's only $50 a month. And you have to have that same mindset when it's a $200, $300, $1,000 deal. Keep that mindset that it's a $50 deal. You have to have the same mindset no matter how big it is, who it is, like what it is. That's like the main thing. But yeah, any other questions or
Yeah,
anything
I got a
you're
question for
struggling
you.
with? Yeah.
Yeah, basically being a new agent, right? Health wise, once I suspect someone like won't clear underwriting for an IUL, how do I get how do I get a client to value the guarantee more than the cash value? So like when I bring up final expenses, it sounds like I'm giving them something better and instead of like kind of downgrading them in a sense.
Or do you ask health before or after you explain the IUL?
Well, right now I'm calling age, so like I basically some a lot of people don't remember, so I'll give them that 30-second explanation like right off the bat and like if they remember and then they're like, "Oh yeah, this is what I wanted." And then they're like, super excited about all that cash value and stuff and then I get to the health, that's like what mainly usually happens, I'd say.
So like you're saying you explain it, get them excited, and then they had cancer or something.
Yeah, basically.
What do you do? What do you usually do at that point?
I mean, I just tell them like, so, based off what we see, like, you're probably most likely not going to be approved for the IUL ever. So, I start trying to like bring up, I guess, the benefits of final expense. But, compared to IUL, there isn't much any to people. So, yeah, just like trying to make that like guarantee that, family's gonna be able to pay that funeral or, that final expense will be there. Like, I don't know, like make it sound more better instead of just like, yeah, this is what you're getting now instead.
I think a big thing I see with a lot of new agents is they say a lot of stuff that sounds scary to the clients. Um, I don't know if you actually like say like you're never gonna get approved or if like it doesn't have to be like that extreme, but just not making it a big deal really is like the thing. That can be solved by like asking health before you explain it. But
Yeah,
realistically, if you go over it for 30 seconds and then you get their health, um, they don't even know what it is yet. So you just have to find like if you give them a brief rundown, yeah, I remember that. What's the health? Cancer. They're not going to get approved. Um, you just have to at that point, you know it's going to be a whole life. So just don't even talk about the IUL.
okay,
Just tailor, pivot to finding exactly what they need and just solve that problem for them with the whole life. Make the whole life sound like it's going to solve their problem if you know they can't qualify for the IUL, if that makes
all right,
sense.
all right, yeah, no,
Um,
that makes sense.
it's just the way you frame it. You can't make it a big deal. You can't, nothing's a big deal. You can't
Yeah.
make anything a big deal at all.
People never want to hear that they can't get something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like you don't want to say anything scary like you're never going to be able to get this or um when it comes to like social, I hear people like, yeah, they're just going to need your social security number for this. That's way scarier than what's a good social. Little things like that. You just have to be careful not to like say things that might throw them off or sound too like important or make it
It's all
sound bigger than it
psychology.
actually is.
yeah,
Yeah.
all
That
Braden,
right.
just
yesterday, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
Okay, all good. I was just gonna say that reminded me of something me and Ryan were talking to Chase about this morning. Like everything, like even though Ryan's tonality is so level, and again, it sounds like nothing's a big deal, he's still making everything a good thing. everything's a good thing at the end of the day. He's not giving him any bad news. Like you don't give a client bad news, like at all.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so level tonality, but everything is a good thing and everything is propelling towards the sale. Nothing's pulling away from the sale.
that's a good point too. Like if you have to whole life pivot, um, like yeah, they found something on the medical, but the good news is like never say that the bad news is that we can't get you approved. Just yeah, they found something on the medical. The good news is though, we're still gonna qualify for coverage, it's still gonna have cash value, still gonna be this, and that. And this leaves us options down the road too, like a lot of options down the road. We'll kind of, you just like, it's always only good stuff. Make everything a good thing. Leave the bad stuff out. That's a good point, Braden.
All right,
Yeah, and
bet.
also too, dude, Jake, honestly, Jake's tonality, like just the way he talks in general, I feel like is such a good like reference point. Um, and like how he sounds on the phones, like he just does not care. If you ever heard him dial, um, I think Jake's a really good person to like listen to if you get the chance. That's kind of where I've gotten a lot of like my tonality and stuff too.
All right, bet. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. Any other questions or like anything anyone's struggling with right now though? Fire. Yeah, I don't know. That's like kind of the insight on what I do though. Just stay neutral. I'm pretty monotone. You don't have to be as monotone as I usually am on the calls. But just staying, having a neutral mindset, not getting frustrated or not getting thrown off when they throw you objections, like even towards the end of the call, making everything a good thing, not scaring the clients with like scary words or anything. Um, yeah, it's not too crazy. It's like there's not too much that goes into it. Um, see. Oh yeah, one last thing too is like mirroring the client's tonality. Um, once you've talked to enough people, it gets like pretty easy. But if it's like like an old trucker, you can be pretty straightforward and confident with him. Versus like if it's like a grandma or something like that, you're gonna talk to them differently and kind of just like mirror their energy a little bit. Um, I'd say that's an important part of it too. But like for newer agents, I feel like it's pretty like second nature to guys that have been here a while. Um, but yeah, matching like the energy of people, not talking too much for sure. A lot of people talk. The client should be talking like 70% of the time. You should be talking like 30% of the time. That's another big thing too. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I had though. Hope that helped out. A
Hey
little
Ryan,
insight
I
on
have
what I do.
one last question. I guess this goes for
Yeah,
pretty much anyone as a new agent. When
yeah.
when do you go final expense versus whole life, like America Eagle Select versus like actual final expense? What's a scenario that requires FEX versus whole life for the new guys?
What do you mean?
Like final expense versus actual whole life policies. I know they're different products, right?
It's the same thing. What are you referring like?
Is it underwriting that usually it comes down to? If someone can't get qualified for like an IUL, when would you go
Yeah,
final expense versus just a regular whole life policy?
it's the same thing. It's just like
Is
what
it?
you call it.
Okay.
Like there'll be like final expense leads, final expenses just for like death benefit, like burial coverage and stuff. It's all whole life though.
Okay. I figured because I had a client that was qualified for 100,000 final expense, which in my eyes
That's
is
just
still a
whole
whole.
life. That's just whole life coverage.
Okay.
Some
Okay.
whole life just go to up to 100,000.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's all the same. There's not a difference. It's just like
Okay.
trucker IUL versus normal IUL. It's all the same stuff.
Makes sense.
Yeah, any other questions though, or anything else anyone wants some insight on?
You have time for one more quick question?
Yeah, what's up?
I know you're super duper monotone compared to some other people, but as far as like the intro, do you do anything to kind of catch their attention so they don't just hang up immediately?
Um, I mean, tonality wise, not really. I've kind of experimented a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, I've tried getting straight into like I'm calling about the life insurance and retirement, calling about the IUL. How are you doing today? Um, like if that's like the second, like if I, hey Chris, this is Ryan calling about the life insurance and retirement. I feel like people hang up like way quicker on that. But if I say, hey Chris, this is Ryan with the IUL department. How are you doing today? It gives you like usually they don't know what that like why you're calling or what that really is. If you ask a question like that instead of just giving up all your ammo right away, it gives you like a second more breathing room, second more like that they'll stay on the call and you have time. Not really tonality wise, but like you can just mess around with it um to try and get like a little bit more time in the intro. Sometimes that's the difference between them hanging up right away and them being a close. Just like trying to get a little bit more time in the intro, I guess.
And that helps. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, you just want to get them talking as soon as they can, though, honestly. Yeah.
Or if you're dialing leads that are like super, like people have talked to them. I think I got this from John, actually. I think it was me and Tony were talking about it, but I was doing it on the truckers. I was like, yeah, hey Max, this is Braden. Were you still a truck driver by chance? Like throws them off. They're like, yeah, I'm still a truck driver. It's like they've never heard that one before. And then I'm like, yeah, it was just about like the life insurance and retirement benefits for truckers. It's
Pattern
like
into
just
it.
like
They
experimenting with stuff
probably
like
think you're
that.
bidding on like a load or something. That's why.
Yeah, it'll stay on the phone. So it's like just like throwing them off like that. Like nobody else has probably called them saying that. So it's like,
Hey John,
I
this
mean,
is
you can
your
even
local
come
file
up with
department.
your own thing.
I've been hearing some yeah, dude, like there's a million things you could do. That's a good one. I've heard Spit using that one. He's killing it. Um, yeah, it's honestly just experimenting. I mean, I don't one thing though, if you're new, how long have you been like selling for?
I've been in the office for like 3.5 weeks. I was doing it remote for a couple months.
Yeah, one thing if you're new though, you don't want to be changing stuff like every day. You want to stay consistent, only tweak like one thing at a time. Because if you're trying a new different intro every day, trying to new this, that, like every single day, then you're gonna get confused. You have to keep it controlled to changing like one thing a week or like one thing every few days. Um, because if you're changing a bunch of stuff every single day, you might be good for a little bit, and then you start, slowing down. You're not going to know what it was that you changed that's working. Um, yeah, literally just yeah, just don't be changing too much though. And yeah, like what Spitz said, you're still a truck driver, right? So like a pattern interrupt, those can be good too. Really just depends on your style and kind of what works best.
Now, of course, your intro is going to be different depending on whether it's aged or fresh.
Yeah, dude, my go-to is still, hey, this is Ryan with the IUL department. How are you doing today? Um, Usually they're like,
Keep it
what?
simple.
With the who? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was just getting back to you on the request you sent me for life insurance and retirement for truckers. You remember doing that, right? And they're like, oh yeah. Versus if the first thing I say is I'm getting back to you on the life insurance and retirement for truckers, like, how are you doing today? If that's the first thing I say with like no pattern interrupt or like no like something confusing in the beginning, I feel like they
Those
hang
hang up.
up. Yeah, they hang up way quicker, or that you already gave all your ammo away, so they can just be like, "Oh yeah, I filled that out, but I'm not blah 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 blah. Blah. I'm not really interested. I'll call you back later." But I don't. Yeah, dude, if you use a pattern interrupt or like you're still a truck driver, it gives you like one more second of like breathing room and like I don't know, it works.
What's your go-to when someone says I'm not interested?
Um.
I
Dude,
know what happens all the
honestly,
time.
with the IULs, like if they're actually not interested, they'll just hang up. Like, I feel like I rarely get people that say they're not interested and stay on the phone, or like don't hang up right away
Gotcha.
with
Or
IULs.
how about I'm busy, can you call me back later? We all know, and obviously John told me this and he couldn't have been more right. Appointments in this industry are disappointments.
Yeah, with that, coming back to what I said earlier, like if they're giving you the time, if they can say that, um, I'll just say yeah for sure. Like just for our next call, was it more the life insurance or more the cash value you were interested in? If they're actually busy or they're not interested, they're just gonna
They wouldn't
keep.
have picked up.
Yeah, like if you roll past it and they're actually not interested or they're actually like busy, they're not going to keep talking. But if you just ask them a question, I say, okay, just for our next call, what even has you interested in the IUL to begin with? They'll either keep saying they're not busy or they'll just start talking, start talking. Um, yeah, and if they just keep talking, don't like there's shame. I
There we
muted
go.
him. I don't, does that work? There we go. My bad. Yeah, no, one thing I see with new agents though, they'll get an objection, like they'll say, "Yeah, I'm busy right now," and then they'll roll it, but then they'll go back to the objection. Like they'll be like, "Yeah, just for our next call, was it this or that?" And then they're like, "Yeah, mainly just the life insurance, blah blah blah," and then they're like, "Okay, I know you're busy right now. When do you want me to call you back?" And then you
Yeah,
just
just
sold.
steamroll it.
Yeah, you just sold. Like you just objected for them.
Yeah,
You like if
lowers
they're
the status.
yeah, if they're talking, dude, keep them talking. Just keep moving forward. Forget about the objection. Don't bring it back up.
Yeah.
Probably fake anyways.
Yeah, it's
All right,
probably just a smoke screen.
another side note, Braden Hernandez is really, really good at this in terms of like social. He's like, I heard him yesterday because he was helping me with a call. He's like, you're okay with them running your medical records, right? And they're like, yep, because it kind of gives him permission. And he goes, what's a good social for you? And then
I've been
they just
using
spit it
that
out.
too. I actually just
Yeah,
started using that. I never really had an issue with social. It goes a little smoother that way. I like it.
yeah, because it's like permission, and then it's like, what's your social? And they're like, I'm
Yeah.
not giving it out. You're like, well, they need to run your MIB. Like you just said that you're cool with it.
It's yes
Genius.
laddering too.
Yeah,
Yep.
and if I do get an objection at social or like ban like anything like that, I just like I act like oh like you've never have you ever applied for life insurance before? They'll say yes or no. I'm like, yeah, no, every insurance application in the country, that's just how they go over the MIB, like do a prescription check for you, see whether they'll approve you or not. Every insurance application in the country is going to go through that. Um, so go ahead with that when you're ready. I just act like they're like almost act like they're dumb, but not like too, don't make them feel too dumb, but just like, oh yeah, no, well you just must not have done that before. That's okay.
It's authoritative, which is good.
Yeah, like this is why they do it, so just go ahead with that when you're ready. And anytime you're rolling an objection, you have to like for social, you have to follow it up with asking for the social again. I'll hear people get an objection at social, roll it, and then just not say anything. And then what happens is the client just starts giving you more objections, but you have to roll it. So go, and then say, so go ahead with that when you're ready. And it works. If you don't follow it up with asking for the social again or asking for the account number again, they're not going to give it to you. You have to ask, have to,
Some some of the older
you know,
clients, they'll try to validate your license first. I had some guy last night on the phone, and he's like, "Whoa, we're jumping into social already." And I was like, "He's like, let me just pull up your license real quick," and he validated it, and then he gave it to me. So sometimes I'll go into that spiel because they just want to make sure you're not some scammer that's like pulling a bank loan on them or something.
yeah, if you gotta do it, you gotta do it.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't like revert to that. I wouldn't jump to conclusions right away or send them over a crank wheel right away. It's like last resort. Usually you don't have to do that.
yep. So he asked, he's like, "Oh, I need to see a license." Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Yeah, for sure, fine. Go and validate that yourself." And then he was cool with it. So
Yeah. But yeah, any other questions or
I got a question.
set Mason?
What's up, man? So I get like I've gotten into like quite a few apps and gotten down the road, and I get like all the time, bro. I get like, yeah, man, that sounds cool. I'm just still looking at my options, or like they'll just be like, yeah, it's something I could definitely think about, or like they'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to my wife about it tonight, or whatever. Like, there's no like commitment. Like, it's and like the whole call will be good too, as far as like them being committed and like interested in what I'm doing. And like somewhere down the road, like once we get into like finalizing everything, like a lot of these aged leads will hit me with that. Like they'll just be like, yeah, it's something I gotta think about. Like I don't get paid until blah blah, or like it'll just be something like that. And I don't know, sometimes I don't really know how to like go about that.
Yeah, first thing, don't don't make it a big deal. Don't sit in that for too long. Later, and you want to make it a good thing. For example, you're towards the end of an app. Yeah, just gotta talk to my wife about it. Just gotta talk to my wife about it. Send me over some info, blah blah blah. Um, yeah, for sure. So what we'll do, we'll just get your foot in the door. I know this is important. We'll just get your foot in the door with like $100 a month, like we went over before. And then once we push this through here today, they're going to send you all that information over email and in a policy packet through the mail. You'll be able to double check everything, look it over with the wife, and then if you do want to, if you talk to her and you do want to end up, putting more towards it or anything like that, just let me know, and yeah, we can do it then. I just like I don't interpret it the way they want me to. So if they say I gotta talk to the wife, I'm like, okay, yeah, we're gonna just push this through today at $100, and then if you talk it over and you want to do even more than that, let me know. We can change it for you. Where I feel like most people would be like, um, yeah, talk it over with the wife, and if you want to do like less than 100, let me know. I go the other way. I'm like, yeah, talk to the wife. We'll push this through today. And if you end up talking to her and you do want to do more than 100, let me know. Give me a call and we can set that up for you if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, like sometimes like with that, I use like I'll be like, yeah, man, of course, like just so we can give you guys something to talk about. Because I mean we don't even know if you're gonna be approved for something like this yet. Let's just go ahead and see what's gonna be, blah blah, and then I'll run into it again. But like, and that's worked a few times for me. But then like ultimately I get far enough and then it just comes back again, to where it's like, yeah, man, like I'm not doing anything today, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like I come across people like that too, where I roll it the first time and then they're just not letting go.
Yeah.
Um, but like most of the time, it's just a smoke screen. You just turn it into a good thing. Um, like if you roll it once, trying to think like you're saying like before you get social or before you get them approved.
Um,
Like you're just gonna see the
dude,
qual. I like that. I like the way you go about that. Like I do a similar thing. Like yeah, we're just gonna see if you qualify. I don't really like saying like that way we'll see we'll at least have something to talk over with the wife because that kind of implies that you're not gonna sign them up today.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I will say that like yeah, let's just kind of run this through, see if this even is something that we can qualify for. And then at that point, if you do want to change anything, I'll let you talk it over the wife. If you do want to change anything, just let me know. We can get it changed for you. But the biggest thing after that is just getting right back into app. Not you can't sit there, talk to them about it, let them give you more objections. You just have to roll it and then give right. Okay, yeah, what was the best address for it? You have to get like go on. You have to continue. You have to get right back into where you left off. You can't sit there and just let them keep talking themselves out of it.
Okay. Yeah, it's usually like after social. Like I haven't had too many problems with the social. It's like
It's banking
more
typically.
towards the banking. Like with the social, I always use, I mean, with the script, I've gotten, it's rare kind of that I get denied the social now. And then I just go into like, yeah, man, of course, back in the day, we would have had to have been in your living room right now with a nurse running urine and blood tests that don't come back until a few weeks, right? So this just kind of simplifies everything for the carriers and just takes a look at blah, 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 which is all going to be tied to your social. What's going to be a good social for you? And then I go back into it again, and that works like every single time. But it's like it's more around like banking is when it happens.
At banking, this last dude I just closed, he was driving, and before I even like asked him for the banking, he was like, "Yeah, that's in the mobile app, but like on my other phone. I'm driving right now. I can't do that." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Okay, yeah." So basically, they're just gonna populate the routing number here in a second. Like, how do you usually like you use the mobile app? Yeah, I got the mobile app, but this, that, that. Like, okay, I know you're driving right now. Take your time. I don't want you getting in a crash or anything like that. Take your time. Once you get into it, once you get into the app, just read it back to me, or I'll just read it back to you and confirm it with you. That's like I say that probably so many times in banking. Like I'm like, take your time. I got all the time in the world. Um, that's kind of how I assume it, I guess. Like it takes pressure off it because I'm saying take your time, and it makes it seem like less of a big deal. Kind of just like putting them at ease. But yeah, for banking, dude, like when they try to give me an objection, I'm just like, yeah, I know you're driving, but take your time, man. I've got it here on my side. Let me know when you get it. Um, that's like literally, I don't even know, dude. That's like all I can say. Like if they're giving me objections at banking, I'm just like, yeah, take your time. No worries at all. I'll be here for you. I feel like that works so good for me. I don't even
Yeah,
acknowledge the objection hardly
yeah, that
ever.
makes sense for sure.
No worries. Take your
Thanks,
time.
man.
I'll be waiting here for you. Yeah, try that out though.
Cool. Thank you.
I'll also preempting it too if you know they're driving or something. Hey, I know you're driving right now. They're going to populate the routing number here in a second. Take your time. Just let me know once you got the app pulled up and I'll read it back to you to confirm it. So then they can't like give you the I'm driving objection because you just acknowledged it.
Yeah, I feel like too, dude. Like it 9 times out of 10, like you can tell they just don't want to commit to it because like once you get to the banking, then it like clicks in their head that like, oh shoot, like now I actually got to pay for this. You know what I mean? Like the whole time they're thinking like, yeah, it should be affordable, this, that. And then once they get to actually committing to it, it's like, especially with the aged leads, I feel like they can't commit to it. You know what I mean? And so it's
Yeah,
like, how do I help them get their foot in the door? Because that's the main thing is you're not covered right now, you know?
I mean, dude, I get that too. Like the whole conversation, they're like, yeah, $100, that's fine. This, that, that. Yeah, awesome. And you do get to banking and they're kind of non-committal, they're being wishy-washy. I kind of just go back to what they said before. Um, be careful that you can't like say stuff that they didn't say. I literally use the exact words they said. So for banking, they're kind of non-committal, and I'm just like, yeah. So like we went over earlier, I know this is important to you. We'll just get your foot in the door with $100, and then if you do want to raise that down the road, just give me a call and let me know. We can change that for you. Um, get like pivoting the conversation back to when it was good and they were committed, and then that'll kind of get them ease their mind a little bit, get them remembering about when they were committal and like why they're doing it in the first place. And then it makes it a little easier. But still, after that, you can't just like stop talking. You have to follow up with a close. You have to follow up with. So yeah, I've got the routing number here. Just let me know. Take your time. Let me know once you've got it pulled up, and I'll read it back to confirm it to you. Of
Makes sense. Cool. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
course. All right. Yeah, I gotta hop off here. Anything else though? All good. All good. All right. Sweet. Appreciate you guys. If you guys need anything else, just like shoot me a text or something.
Love you, Ryan.
Yes,
Thanks, Paul.
sir. Sweet. See you guys later.